Gillibrand.
Thank you, Chair Collins and Vice Chair Murray. I want to echo something that my colleagues have talked a lot about. Like many members on the Appropriations Committee, I work with Democrats and Republicans alike and work hard on bipartisan compromises my entire Senate career. I serve on the Armed Services Committee, I serve on the Intel Committee, I serve on the Special Committee on Aging, all deeply bipartisan committees. I asked to be joined to this committee because it had a history of bipartisanship, of Democrats and Republicans looking across the country at our constituents and saying, of all the tax dollars you send to Washington, what is most important to you? You just heard from Senator Ossoff. The CDC is vital to his state. It's vital to all of us because it protects us from disease. But we ask our members of Congress to listen to their constituents through town halls, through town meetings, through just normal interactions about what resources they need spent. But what this rescission package is you are taking away the job of elected representatives to make the judgments in the Appropriations Committee about where federal dollars should go. It's literally upending the role that Congress has as the power of the purse. And it's deeply disturbing because it means the fundamental requests of our constituents can't be implemented. I've seen it in many things I've worked on, simple things like the Cyber Academy to make sure our best and brightest come work for the federal government in our intelligence services, in the DOD. And we say to these young people, we will pay for your education if you serve. Well, these hiring freezes and these cuts in funding mean that none of these kids who have already gone through the training program can't get hired. We see it in the funding cuts for cybersecurity. So when we just are concerned about foreign adversaries hacking our elections and we hire people at Homeland Security and we hire people at the FBI and we hire people at the DOD and they all get fired, it undermines congressional will. We sit in hearings all day long learning specifics about national security, about food security, about health and human well-being. And then we make sure when we decide where resources should go, that that's the best judgment. And we do it on a bipartisan basis, always. We have always done this on a bipartisan basis. So you could understand why people are so distressed about this rescission package, because it takes away the job that our constituents have asked us, not you, to do. So with that, I want to turn to some of the specific cuts. I have many, many areas of interest.
Can I respond to that, Senator?
Yes, go ahead.
This bill gives you the vote to pass or not pass the rescissions package. They're not taking anything away from you. In the same way the Congressional Budget Act says that appropriations bills should be started and done by a certain period of time, it outlines the Impoundment Control Act that allows you to vote for it or not vote for it.
That's an absurdity. It's an absolute absurdity because that's not the way it's supposed to work. You, as the administration, is not supposed to pick and choose the work that we've already done. We have the power of the purse. I will be voting no on this rescissions package. It's the most obvious no vote that my constituents would like me to make. And I don't know why more Republicans aren't standing up to President Trump and these very ill-advised decisions he's making, because it's harming their constituents. It's harming the people they represent. So when they choose to vote yes on this rescissions package, woe be to them for their constituents, because their constituents will be the first in line to tell them how they've been harmed. So I'm going to ask you for just a few pieces of area where this rescission package is going to be deeply, deeply felt. Let's look at national security. The rescissions package rescinds $1.65 billion in funding for the Economic Support Fund, which provides U.S. economic assistance that promotes cooperation, coexistence, and border regional integration initiatives that align with the objectives of the Abraham Accords and U.S. strategic interests. Given U.S. strategic and global interests in this region, how do you assess the impact of these cuts on the stability of Israel's neighbor and the broader Abraham Accords framework?
It will have no impact on the Abraham Accords. It will have no impact on Israel. It will have an impact on $4 million for sedentary migrants in Colombia, $300,000 for an NGO to hold a pride parade in Lesotho, $3 million for Iraqi Sesame Street, on and on. With that particular rescission that you were referring to.
I don't believe that's true. In fact, the purpose of the Abraham Accords investment is to make sure that we do economic growth with the support of Israel in Arab countries. And you are undermining that by eliminating $1.65 billion. And the three things you just mentioned do not add up to $1.65 billion. Let's look at global assistance and development. The proposed rescission package will cut economic development assistance and funding for multiple accounts. How does gutting these programs enhance American influence, beat back Chinese influence, the Belt and Road Initiative that projects their power worldwide, and ensure that Americans win hearts and minds globally?
Well, Senator, we just covered economic assistance. Let's cover development assistance. $6.2 million to address the needs of Venezuela migrants in Colombia, $6 million for net zero cities in Mexico, $4.4 million for low emissions energy in Vietnam. Again, with every single one of these
So when you're not investing in energy in Vietnam, do you know who does? Russia. Russia has its agents all across Vietnam. You know who else? China. So when they project their power worldwide, it makes us less safe. Let's do biosurveillance and global health.
The senator's time has expired.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. I will submit these questions for the record.
Thank you.